Poland, September 1939. The German foe begins its ruthless march of conquest and sets the stage for World War II.
This country is at war with Germany.
Hitler and his now ally Mussolini launch wars of conquest that devastate much of Europe. And as a part of those wars, Hitler implements a series of systematic mass murder campaigns, killing about 6 million Jews, millions of Poles, Slavs, Roma, and other civilians that he marks as racially impure or biologically inferior. So it's easy to lose yourself in this story, especially at this point in the chronology. But I want to now summarize what we can learn from the rise of these two men, these two regimes, what it tells us about what fascism is. Both of these men ended up applying a weirdly similar approach to gaining power. Both of them started with small groups that glorified violence against political enemies. Both of them created narratives that sold a mythologized past and blamed their enemies for the loss of that mythical past. Both of them promised a rebirth of their superior nation under the leadership of a singular, charismatic, powerful man. Both of them eventually got invited into the mainstream of a democratic system by positioning themselves against the forces that scare rich people. Communism, socialism, and both vehemently called for the end of democracy in any form, even while they used democracy to gain power. And once in power, both dismantled democracy from within so that no one could challenge them, creating a government and a society and a press run entirely by the glorified leader, which he then used to flood his people with propaganda and fear, getting them to act like a giant army that the leader could mobilize first at home, then abroad in wars of conquest, including an industrial-scale genocide in the case of Hitler. Okay, now this is not the list that defines fascism. There is no the list. But after being really deep in the source code of this history, this is the list that we believe summarizes the defining features of fascism. But now the hard part, the part that's up to interpretation that everyone watching is going to have a slightly different read on. What happens when we apply this list to today? After decades of more and more countries becoming liberal democracies, meaning democracies that prioritize individual rights and try to ensure that everybody gets treated equally by the law, the world has seen a reversal. There is a decline in liberal democracies around the world. That's what this chart is showing.
Fresh concerns about the restriction of rights in Hungary.
Israeli lawmakers declaring that only Jews hold the right to self-determination.
Judges say Poland's judicial independence is being violated.
Modi has been heavy-handed with the Indian media and voices of dissent.
Pair that with the uptake of the visibility of communities who openly embrace the fascism of Mussolini and Hitler.
Hundreds of men in Rome making a fascist salute.
Openly praising Adolf Hitler, making celebratory jokes about gas chambers.
Young white men.
Taken together, you start to understand the increase in serious people sounding the alarm bell that this is maybe the return of fascism of some form. Using it not just as the generic insult, but actually saying that we're like in some version of the 1930s. They're citing modern events.
Angry anti-Muslim mob tore through the town.
That are concerning to them.
Greenland should be part of the United States.
That they say meet the criteria of fascism.